And away we go.
Episode 12, part 3? Yes. And we are going to go where no man wants to go, or too many men want to go. I don't know. Too many men went. The whole Epstein list. And I almost don't even want to talk about the list. My thing that I want to focus on is the way that this is a perfect example of the Trump administration doing this whole, now you don't see it. For months and months and months, they were like, oh, Epstein. And now just out of the blue, they're like, it doesn't exist. It never existed. We don't know what you're talking about. I mean, that's literally what they're saying.
Why are you still talking about it?
Yeah, why are you still and it's like, what my point with that is that they do that with a bunch of different things. In fact, there was a story about the flood that sounded like a great story. It was, these two firemen who had rescued a girl. Why wouldn't you want to celebrate that? Now all of a sudden they're being told to retract the story. It feels a lot like this. My point is they're doing what's the 1984 term? They're rewriting history in front of our faces, and it's weird because like if you aren't catching it, it's just like, did he really deny what they were? I mean, it's literally okay. Either the Trump administration was lying, or now they're lying.
Right.
It's one or the other. And you can't have it both ways. But final point before I let Steve interject. On the Epstein issue itself, what somebody brought up that I think is really interesting is you've got one person dead, Epstein himself, one person in jail. The only person in jail is female. Everybody who is supposedly, doing the bad shit is male, and not one person is being arrested or even specifically talked about or even called out at this point. I don't know what's actually going on, but I do know there's something going on. It's not that there was nothing to begin with, and if it was nothing to begin with, then why wouldn't you say that? Instead, they're like, oh, I'm at a loss for words now.
Yeah, here's the thing. I never paid much attention to this thing anyways, because it was one of these things that like the right, these conservatives, right, these MAGAs wouldn't shut the fuck up about the fucking Epstein list. Right? So we know most of these motherfuckers are on that list. Trump's on that list. I'm sure Clinton was probably on that list.
Yeah, probably.
Like, some of these guys, they're probably on that list, right? So, and what really went down there? Who knows, man? Like, I'm sure it was a lot of seedy, fucked up shit. It sounds like it.
It might not be what we heard, but it's definitely a lot of
right, because
shit.
I mean, there's a lot of things where it looks like it appears that there were underage people involved in this. Now, to what extent and what were they actually? What
were they doing? How young were they?
Were they coerced? Were they being paid? What's going on here? There's a lot of things that could be going on that we just don't know about, right?
I mean, it probably wasn't good, but it might not have been as bad as depicted. We don't know.
We don't know. But the indication is that it was bad, and there was some things going on there that was probably pretty seedy, and people were being exploited. We're not talking about adults here having a little fantasy island action.
No, the whole point is that the average age, and this is benefit of the doubt, right, that they were, for lack of a better term, barely legal. If not way below, just
right. And if that's the case, then that's deplorable.
Yeah,
it's criminal. If you're talking about people in their 20s and they're doing their thing on an island somewhere, that's up to them. Look, I'm not going to put my morality on any of that shit. That's not my business. I don't think anybody should. But when you have people that are being exploited or manipulated, or things are being done that aren't on above board, then yes, it's a huge issue, and that looks like what was going on there, and that's what most people are alluding to, even people that know what happened who aren't talking. So that's probably what happened, right? And there's a lot of people on both sides, I think, wrapped up in this thing. And I don't think anybody wants that fucking shit out there.
Well, right? Except the public discussion is...
But here we go back to the public discussion. Yeah, now, why would Trump even bring it up in the past, or any of these Republicans? Because it was a tool they could yield at the fucking Democrats,
Right.
So, but when now that it's not expedient for them, or it doesn't benefit them to wield this tool because Trump's in power, now it's going to expose these clowns, well then, they shut the fuck up about it and it never happened. It never existed. Hillary's emails, and all this other bullshit. And here's Trump with fucking shit in his goddamn bathroom, boxes of shit. Not even not talking about an unsecured server. We're talking about a box of shit. It's just, like you said, it's just so stupid.
Yeah, almost like peeking heads on a second or third call.
This is the thing. Anybody who's dealt with one of these kind of people, and I'm sure everybody out here has, one of these narcissists, one of these sociopaths, like, they will just completely blow your mind with, like you said, with this shit, where they'll just be like, I never said that, or what are you talking about?
And it's like you can go back and find articles month after month after month of them talking about it, and they're like, no.
Or the best one too, like, why are we still talking about that? Like, what do you mean, why are we still talking about it? You wouldn't shut up about it forever.
And now you won't say it.
And now, why are we still talking about that? Or it's like, I think I've used this analogy before. The guy who punches the hole in the wall, and the hole's still there. It hasn't been repaired yet. And he's yelling at his girlfriend or his wife or something. She's like, would you just stop? What about the hole in the wall? And he's like, haven't we gotten over that yet? It's like, it's still there. They just put a painting over it or something. Like what the fuck, dude? This is like one of those things. Like, he did it two ways. Like, first of all, he denied it. And then he said, why are we still talking about it? Like, the abuser language twice in a row. Like, but these people, how they're going to react to everything, man. It's just so fucking
It's like every other thing is classic gaslighting.
Yes. That's all it is.
But then what's weird is when they turn around and project, it's like they project in a way that they don't even understand the terms. I mean, like, they really don't understand the terms.
No, because then when they try to describe what projection is, they get it all wrong. Because I was in a thread with somebody who said you're projecting. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're so stupid. You don't even know what the word means. Oh my god! I think you'd be mimicking it. Not projecting.
Like I was in one where somebody, his complaint was that the image that we put up, it was a search, and it said that it was AI generated, and he was like, oh well, that means it's useless, and we're like, no, that's not how AI works. An AI search that summarizes findings from Google is not. He was just.
Some people. Needed some. Yeah. So, once again, here we are, dealing with the absurd, dealing with people.
Well, and just I don't think it surprises anybody that the list was not produced or that nobody's been arrested at this point. Right. That's not what's surprising. What's surprising is their methodology of sweeping it up under the rug is weirdly transparent.
This might actually. This looks like there's pieces of even these MAGAs that are like, wait a minute.
No, there are people. There are
even Joe Rogan. I heard. Was
like,
wait a minute.
No, he was one. Was it that?
And people are saying, well, this might be his out. Like, this is his way out.
Rogan is annoying, but there have been several things. The immigration issue is another one where he's like, this isn't right, and it's like, yeah, dude, why were you not paying attention?
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what everyone told you?
Yeah,
he's so stupid. He's looking for an out.
Yeah, how about he gets out of our town? Yeah.
Well, how about he gets out of the show business and like, oh god.
Oh, that's the weird thing about Rogan. I mean, beyond everything else, is that he gets paid a ridiculous amount of money on top of what he would normally make just for having a show like that.
Yeah.
Like on top of, not just
doing his other bullshit.
Yeah.
The stupid shit he sells and it's fucking it's all.
I mean, he'd have hundreds of thousands of dollars just for doing the money that he gets paid based on, selling bullshit and products and whatnot. But instead, you got Spotify and whatnot paying him millions on top of that so that they can have exclusive rights to host his show or something. And it's like, what the fuck?
I wish people would just stop watching.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, though. You can't, fix these guys. They're so broken. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, here we have Trump. Something that would not be shut up about for fucking ever. Isn't it now it's like, why are we still talking about this? I don't know.